Hey, it's Brendan Payne with the Brendan Payne Expert Advisors team here in Century 21, the Harrelson Group. And today I want to give you a little bit of insight into how you can go about getting an idea of the value of your property. I know when I'm looking at selling, I haven't sold my primary residence for quite a while. I've lived in the same home for a long time. But my investment properties, when I start thinking about selling one of them, I usually am doing a little bit of research well beyond the point or well before the point that I actually put something on the market. And I think that most consumers, in my experience, do the same thing. So this is some information on a couple of resources that you got available. If you're not really ready to put property on the market and you're not sure that you're even going to, there's a couple ways you can get some insight in the market and the potential value. And this should help you kind of decide, at least whether or not you're heading that direction of selling. So let's talk about number one is just simply getting an idea of what's going on around you. And that's, the comparable property conversation. You hear a lot of people talk about the comps around you. Well, technology now has allowed us all to, be able to get a good feel for the homes that are in our neighborhood within a 3 mile radius. However far out you want to go from your home, you can take a look and see what's on the market. Those are the ones that, that would be your competition. That's what's available to the consumer now. The ones that are pending, which shows, what price point, maybe what square footage price properties are getting offers at. And then the sold properties kind of tell us what's the success story. And a couple of things that we look at that is obviously the time it takes them to sell, but also some of the variables that we look at in the industry are square footage price, heated and under roof, because there are differences in there. Of course, what did the home have for upgrades? Those make a difference. Lot size, location, all of those things. But you can do some preliminary research in your area with the tools that you've got at your fingertips on your phone or in your computer. The second step is actually using an online valuation tool, which is a little step further. It actually kind of takes all the things that you might be doing right now and looking at the previous sales and uses technology to pull all those together, goes within a radius of your home or your address or whatever it's set up to do, whatever area it's set up to do. And then based off of previous sales and what's available, it throws all that information into, a big bucket, and, we call it an algorithm, and it spits out a new price that it would say that, your home is worth. Now, here's the upside of the price evaluation, home price evaluations that are, online all over the place. The upside is that you can usually get information and feedback really, really quickly. And it's super convenient. You don't have to go and put a bunch of stuff in there. Most of the time, you literally put your address and your zip code in. And then it might ask you for any upgrades, updates, things you've done in the last couple of years that will help it understand what you've got. And then you get this price range back. Usually they will give you their estimated price. And then, of course, they give you the range. And the range sometimes could be up to 25-30% because it doesn't know exactly what you have in the home. So it's not super accurate, but it's fast and it's convenient. Now, the downside of those is they don't really know anything about your home. They don't know anything about the details. They don't know about the kitchen that you just remodeled or the new bathrooms. And they frankly don't know a lot of the little nuances within a single individual neighborhood, like, you're right across the street from the new Starbucks, or you're right across the neighborhood from the pool, but you don't have to deal with all the noise. So it doesn't know a lot of those other things that can affect not only the value, but it can affect the buyers thinking that your property is better or worse than one that's in the same neighborhood. So it doesn't give you a lot of detail as a downside, but it is very convenient. The third way that some people choose to get some, market data or some valuations is to have a professional appraisal. Now, it's up to the individual. Sometimes people want to do an appraisal because before they talk to an agent, they want to have an idea of a third party that gives them their valuation so that they have, something to go on, something to base that on. Now, what I would tell you about appraisals is, while it can be a good idea to, again, get a range, appraisals, property valuations, all of those things, they ultimately are not going to tell you the value of the property, because the value of the property is going to be what you as the owner and the buyer can agree on at the given time that you come together. So sometimes buyers are more motivated to pay a higher price for the same property that a month ago, maybe they wouldn't have paid that price. A lot of variables in there. And whether or not you choose to do a little bit of homework on your own, or you decide to use an online valuation tool, or you decide to pay to actually have an appraisal that's done by a licensed appraiser and gives you all the detail, they show all their work, and then they come back with their opinion of value. The reality is that ultimately the price is determined by you and the buyer. If you're looking for some, no hassle, no obligation insight into the potential value of your property, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I probably on a weekly basis do opinions of value for property owners 3 to 4 times a week, and they're not ready to sell, and that's perfectly fine. But that's one of the resources that I can provide for you as a consumer, and I'm happy to do that. So reach out to me, let me know. Thanks again for allowing me to be your resource, and let me know if I can help you in the future. Thanks again.